Okay, so it's June 22nd, 2026, and this is just another journal entry in case I want to look back on things and figure out what I was thinking at the time. Although the things I want to share in this video are stuff that I've kind of thought about for a long time while I was learning this dance movement stuff. Basically, I just want to share some thoughts related to how do you actually develop this ability to move and dance and that sort of thing? How do you learn? I feel like most people, they try to just give you specific steps and instructions, and then they expect you to repeat those steps and practice and just repeat it over and over again until you get it right and that sort of thing. And that's okay. That's suitable for most people when they're just getting into something, getting familiar, and they need something just to do, right? Just to get conditioned a little bit and get a feel for it. Also, that way is kind of easiest to explain. You just say, do this, do this, do this, repeat that, and you got it, right? Okay, so that's a packaged way of teaching or passing along a specific knowledge. You just give them specific instructions, okay? Well, I have this other idea that I like to call emergent movement, emergent motion, emergent movement, whatever. It's just something that emerges. You allow it to emerge through the act of just moving and exploring space. And that's something that I did, something that I kind of followed while I was developing my ability to move. I tried doing like instruction stuff, following along basic things, but it only gets you so far because there's only a limited number of things that you could do as far as specific types of moves and steps. You know, once you've done those, it's like, okay, now what, right? So I found those a bit limiting, and also when you do those, you're kind of getting molded, or you're trying to fit into someone else's mold or idea as to like how you should move, and it's not necessarily representative of how you want to move, how you naturally feel like moving and that sort of thing. I originally got interested in this liquid dance movement because I perceived it as being very different compared to other things, and I felt it was very unique, or a unique way of expressing yourself. And I like things like that because I naturally try to differentiate myself from other people, but it can be challenging doing that because then you don't fit in to a lot of things, and so it kind of feels awkward at times. But as I've gotten older, I've kind of realized that that's something that's kind of cool and interesting, is being capable of being different and having your own style to things. It's just I don't know, it's not something that's bad, it's something that's cool, right? Anyways, so I wanted to like do my own thing or have my own way of doing it, something that's more representative of who I am. And I didn't really know what that was as far as like how I wanted to move, because I never did this sort of thing before. And so I just kind of did whatever moves I wanted to do, and I would record myself every day, basically just doing stuff, just kind of feeling things out, not sure like how to move. I'd look very like awkward doing it, like I'd have like no control over like anything basically, but I was basically feeling it out. And as I watched myself do this sort of thing, I was able to analyze like what it is that I'm actually doing and kind of understand more deeply the process of developing this new skill or ability, right? So also I had prior experience learning how to do illustrative artwork and that sort of thing, and I recognized that when you are a beginner at anything, for example with drawing, it's very sketchy, it's very uncontrolled, very messy. When you look at younger people, when they draw, it's all sketchy, but the more they do it, the more they practice, it becomes more refined, more controlled, more structured, more intricate, more detailed, because their mind is developing, their ability to see and comprehend the world and things around them. They're able to translate that into what they're doing and make something that's kind of a reflection of that, okay? So when you're doing something new, it's always going to be very sketchy, very messy, very imprecise. You're going to make a lot of errors, mistakes, that sort of thing. It's going to look awkward, it's going to feel awkward. Your muscles, your mind, everything has to adapt to that new situation. All the different circumstances around you, whatever. It's just something that needs time to adapt to, basically. So I recognize this, and then so knowing those things, I wasn't like discouraged as much, because I knew it was going to be a little weird, like going into it and doing it. But just knowing that doing it more will allow things to kind of develop and become better. That was useful in motivating me to continue doing it. And also it was fun. I liked exploring and moving, and it was interesting. Okay, so I kind of developed this concept, like this emergent movement. It's just a concept, it's just something I like to call it, just a term that I use, but it's not really anything new. It's just something that is what it is, right? So it's just these are just some thoughts I'd like to share in case someone else is trying to do these things, do this type of movement stuff. I feel like it's a good way of approaching it, because it allows you to kind of develop your own ability to comprehend the process more. When you're just following specific steps and instructions, you don't go through that process of thinking and comprehending and wondering and analyzing and feeling things out as much, right? It's not as it's not as personal of an experience when you're just following instructions and steps designed by someone else, okay? When you allow yourself to do that instead, figure out what types of moves you like doing those moves again and again, it becomes something that's more representative of who you are, and you kind of have your own style, your own natural style, specific moves that you like to do. It's like an extension of your personality, and I feel like that's more interesting than just everybody doing the same sort of moves, the same instructions, the same basic things. If you do that, it kind of prevents you from being capable of going outside the box and finding new ways of doing stuff, okay? Right? Like, the more you do that, the more it conditions you to that way of being, right? So I feel like when you allow yourself to just move and not think about so much how you should move, but just like feeling it and understanding like how it is you can move, you'll kind of like just naturally be drawn towards specific ways of moving, and they'll kind of shape your style a bit, I guess. I don't know. It's something I'm still exploring, you know. I'm still new at all of this, and I just want to share that sort of angle to things. I know some people don't like listening to others explain stuff, and I'm kind of the same way, because I like figuring things out myself. It's more fun that way. When you discover things, you might discover things that other people have discovered, but the process of discovering it is what makes it enjoyable, at least for me. I know I've discovered things about my moves and concepts that I've developed, and then I go and watch someone else do moves or explain things, and there's very similar thinking involved, and it's like, oh, they thought of the same thing that I thought of, and that's interesting. Like, okay, but it's just, we're all kind of tuning in to this way of moving, and there's not really any one right way of doing it. I feel like I'm rambling a bit about this, but it's just something on my mind. I'm sure I didn't explain this as well as I could have, but I have to make these journal entries just to do them, even if they're not that good. As long as I just do them, I'll get better at it, and maybe it'll like condition my mind to kind of be capable of structuring my thoughts better. If I don't do these videos, I won't get better at expressing or conveying or explaining things. So yeah, I'm just putting it out there in case I want to look back on it, or in case someone's watching that's wants a bit more insight into this process. It's just a process. It's just something that I'm doing and learning from. I'm always learning new things. That's what's great about this movement stuff. Liquid movement, dance, whatever you want to call it. Emergent movement is what I like to think about all this. But I also have this feathering movement thing that I like to do. But anyways, what I was saying. Okay, so I think I'm rambling a little bit. I kind of lost my train of thought. I'm getting a little bit exhausted from explaining stuff mentally. That's the thing. When you do stuff, it requires energy, and you have to kind of recover from that. That's why things take time to get better and develop. It's because you have to go through that recovery process with your body kind of adapting to the new situations. It has to condition itself. Same way with your mind. So by doing these videos, maybe I'll get better at them. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm just putting it out there in case anybody's interested in hearing about my thoughts as to this stuff, or if I want to look back on things and that sort of thing. So yeah, that's it. It's June 22nd, 2026.